on YouTube. Boom. Live. This is really fun here. Live. And live on my Instagram. What? Here we go. Wow. Let me, ooh, shiesty bomb. Okay. Apparently I cannot zoom. Stay. Okay. All right, we got this. Yes! And I better turn this down. My little meditation music going here in the background. We got rocking on. Oh my goodness. Hello world. Hello. I'm so excited. This is the 5th and final day of the 5-day self-love empowerment challenge. I got to tell y'all, I've had fun, especially, wow, my first time ever being on 4 different platforms, 5 devices at the same time. This has been fun. Right? And challenging. Who else has felt the challenge of not just the week, but life in general? Right? Definitely a lot of tower moments. Yeah. So before we go on, hello, Goddess Vanessa, there on my RV Rochelle, my Healing Twin Flames TikTok channel. Hello, Goddess Leanne, there in the Facebook Goddess Tribe. What? Yes, we're having fun. I am stoked. I even admit I've had moments where I've been like, my shadow self has been like, oh, what you're doing isn't making a difference. It doesn't matter. That's what my mean girl tells me. And it's like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. Because all I got to do is actually look and see the impact that what I teach, what I do has on all of you, collectively, individually. And it really, truly, yeah, that's why I'm here in this world, for sure. Goddess Vanessa says, if you only knew how challenging yesterday was. I bet you, dear Goddess, I can relate. Oh my gosh. I bet you anything I can totally relate. I don't want to touch that back there with my where my live is on my Goddess Tribe. I kind of angled the iPad. I'm like, what is that thing again? The iPad a little bit more, but it's all good. So let's get going with day 5, because remember, I have an hour limit on my Instagram, and y'all know I always have a little bit to say. Goddess Vanessa says, it is making an amazing difference in my life. Oh, thank you so much, dear Goddess. I am so grateful to hear that. Again, I used to have like a little file that had all of the feedback from all the goddesses that I've worked with, both paying clients and just simply those who have caught a live or two or a post or two on any of my platforms, the impact that I've had, because I want, I share these things so that you all understand that it doesn't just go away overnight. It does take, again, unlearning those old patterned ways of being and thinking, while at the same time learning new patterned ways of being and thinking. And Goddess Vanessa says, I truly feel I was meant to meet you. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. I am certainly one of those where there's no such thing as coincidence or a quinky dink. I do like that word. However, everything is synchronistic. I believe that 1,050 gazillion %. There really is no such thing as coincidence. And when you awaken into that awareness, you really begin to go, wow, there really is no such thing as coincidence. There's not. And that is one of the few cliches that I am all for keeping. Those are one of those beliefs. So there's a short list of socially conditioned beliefs that I'm like, yes, keep that one. That's one of them. No such thing as coincidence, because there's not. Everything is synchronistic. Everything is for a reason. Everything is a part of your path, a part of your journey. It's there to teach you, to guide you, to help show you who you are, to help you grow stronger. It's there for you. Okay. Osman, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I believe that as well. Deep Sea family. I love that. Deep Sea family. Yes, everything is synchronistic. No such thing as coincidence. So that said, really quick, my name is Rochelle Richard, and I am the founder, CEO, and self-love empowerment coach at Empowerment Experiences. And well, my wonderful, amazing, joyful life purpose and soul mission is to guide you into and through finding your power in every moment, because I know what it is to feel powerless in every moment. And I also know what it is to learn how to find my power in every moment. So I am certain that it can be done. It is, it's just a matter of learning how and then putting those things into practice. All right. And really, truly learning to love yourself. That is the foundation of all of it. And Goddess Leanne asked, do you believe in fate? Well, guess what, Goddess Leanne? Fate is actually synchronicity. Fate is that predestined, yes, this is supposed to happen kind of thing. Well, synchronicity is right in that. It's like they're like twinsies kind of thing. Maybe fraternal twins in the sense of being able to say that fate is kind of like a predestined soul contract agreement, like meeting people. Like we really, really, truly did write in our soul contracts that we made with each other that we would meet at this time, at this place, under these circumstances, for this reason, for this lesson, for this experience. We did that. So that is fate, and fate is synchronistic. Fate is alignment. That is what synchronicity is that you are in alignment. It was supposed to be that way. I just believe that fate brought me to your realm. Exactly. I believe that 1,050 gazillion %. I do. I do. All right. Oopsie. I'm pushing buttons again here. I don't know what I'm doing here on my, how do I, okay, don't touch, Rochelle. Okay, so Deep Sea family says, I believe that as well. Yes, I am reclaiming mine every day as we speak. Goosebumps. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Because guess what? You were lied to. And we've talked about this a little bit as well, where you were told to be somebody you're not. You were taught to believe you have no power. You were taught to believe that you don't get to speak your truth. And oh my God, you got to fit in a box, and you got to look like her, and you got to walk like her, and you got to be like her. And oh my God, just don't be you. Don't be crazy. Don't be unique. You got to be like everybody else. No wonder we sit there going, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. I can't trust myself. And we end up allowing other people to walk all over us, to dictate our lives, to tell us what we can and cannot do, how we should, again, we should act, how we should be. And as a result of that, we become so afraid of just being ourselves. We get so afraid of hurting other people's feelings at the detriment of our own. And so today's activity is about really, truly listening to you, really, truly putting into practice that self-love when it involves others in your environment. Today's activity is about boundaries. It's about really coming to know that, guess what? You actually teach other people how to treat you. Did you know that? You do. Whether subconsciously or consciously, you teach other people how to treat you. And it is a direct reflection of how you treat yourself. And if you are disrespectful of your personal space, if you allow other people to take advantage of you, if you allow other people to dictate your day, if you allow other people to influence your state of being by going, oh, come on, that whole peer pressure crap, right? Oh, come on. Please, I won't ask you to do it again. Please. And you just feel this part inside you that's just screaming, going, don't do it. Don't do it. And you do it. And everything blows up in your face. Not always, right? Or you're so drained, you're so tired, and someone asks you for a favor that really, in actuality, they could handle, or they have someone else they could ask. Or quite honestly, it's something, have you ever had this where someone's asked you for a favor and it was to help clean up a mess that you saw coming? That you said, I don't think that's a good idea. And lo and behold, they go and do it. And then they come running back to you, asking you to help clean up the mess. And you're so tired and drained and depleted, and you just have nothing to give. Yet, we feel obligated. Guess what? We all have lessons to learn. And one of your lessons when it comes to that bullshit, and that's what I'm calling it, because it's one thing if, for instance, someone you love, their house burns down. Purely accidental. That's one thing. But if someone you know makes a choice to, hello, Maria, makes a choice to do something that you advise against, you're like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And they do it. And then they expect you to clean up the mess. You have every right to go, Because guess what, sweetheart? That's your lesson to learn. And my lesson to learn is in how to say no. To say, I didn't create this mess, so I'm not going to be the one to clean it up. I don't feel well. I'm tired. I'm drained. I'm taking care of me and my shit. Because listen, we have all been socially conditioned with this self-sacrificial kind of love. And so what ends up happening is there's a whole shit ton of everybody everywhere that is walking around with empty cups. Yet we go out there wanting to pour into other people's cups, but you ain't got nothing in your cup. The dish is empty. So how can you expect to really, truly serve others, to be there for others, to feel better at any time if you are not putting something in your cup first and not allowing other people to take from your cup that is already pretty much empty? I know a lot of people that are running on fumes in their fuel tank. Y'all remember back in college, back in the day, when you would go to the gas station because you only had $5, but you would put gas in that puppy. And of course, I suppose back then that got you closer to 5 gallons. These days, not okay. I'm probably dating myself a little bit, but back then you got closer to probably 5 gallons. So maybe, you had $2 to put in there, and you put in like 1 to 2 gallons to just get you by. And then you just keep doing that. You're never going to achieve what you want to achieve if you never give yourself what you need. Because picture this. So we've gone that way. Let's go over this way. Imagine that you learn how to just say no, and you really learn how to fill your cup. And before long, you got half cup, 3/4 cup, you got energy. You got an abundance of everything, an abundance of energy, and an abundance of money, of blessings, of time. All of a sudden, then someone comes and needs you. Someone you love needs you. Then look at how much more you have to give because of how full your cup is, whereas theirs is empty. You actually then have something to pour in your cup, into their cup. My best advice is this, that you actually fill your cup so full that it overflows into those around you. Now just imagine if we all did that, if we all took responsibility for ourselves, if we did that, we took our power back and realized that, wait a minute, I have got to get myself where I need to be, because then the more I have to give. Imagine a world where we learned the difference between healthy selfish and unhealthy selfish, because there's a lot of unhealthy selfish. I'm sure we can all agree with that. But there's not a lot of healthy selfish, and that's why so many, and I'm saying us because I was very much, especially being an empath. Oh boy, we just bleeding heart syndrome, right? Where we literally give our last dollar, and then when it comes down to it, it's like, wait a minute, I don't have any money to pay my bills. And then you end up out in the street. I mean, it's happened. I've had a few energy vampires in my life, right? It happens. So imagine filling your cup so full that you actually have overflow to really, truly help to lift up those around you. But that requires you learning to say no now, because guess what? Most of our cups are empty, right? Because we're taught to give until you have nothing. And then guess what? The person you were given to, they got nothing too. You got nothing. The other person got nothing. And that's kind of this cycle that we've created, this whole self-sacrificial kind of belief system. Another visual coming up is when someone is in an abyss, in the trenches of self-loathing, of complaining, of woe is me, of self-pity. You don't go down there and join them. You stay up above ground, so to speak. You stay up on the edge, on higher land, and you reach down a hand and you say, hey, honey, the view is so much better up here. Come on. I'm going to show you that things are not that bad. Come on, let me show you. Let me show you how you can feel better right now. Let me show you where your power is. Come on. Let me show you where to step. Let me show you. Let me illuminate the path out of this darkness where you are right now. But you better believe I'm not going to be crawling down in there and joining you, because then we're both on a sinking ship. So let me be the life raft. Let me throw that raft out to you. It's again like the mask thing when you're in the airplane, the oxygen mask. You always put your mask on first, because if you pass out too, then you're both screwed. It's the exact same concept when it comes to making sure you fill your cup first. It's that simple. So boundaries. Do you have them? Do you put them into practice? I mean, I know when I really first started actually being on my self-love empowerment journey, I was like, boundaries, what? I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to be that person that listened to myself. that said, I have nothing to give. And if I go do that, or I give that, then I can't pay for that, which means that gets lost. And it's just a big, it just got worse. It got worse. Because again, especially when you have energy vampires in your life, they will suck you dry and suck you dry and suck you dry. It's just what vampires do. So again, as I asked, do you realize that we actually teach others how to treat us? So if you don't have boundaries with yourself, if you don't create them, create clarity around what your boundaries are, what you will and will not tolerate from people, how you will allow someone to treat you and how you won't. Well, exactly. They say, well, they are wrong. They say it's better to give than receive. Well, guess what? Let me tell you, if you give, but you do not receive, then you are not in the flow. You've got to be in that energetic flow. You've got to be just as equally willing and ready and able to receive as you give. Balance. We have created such an imbalanced, socially conditioned state here that's why we're all going, oh my God, I'm so tired all the time. Oh my God, I can't do this. I have no energy. I don't love myself, because you're not actually giving or receiving to and from yourself. How you can tell if you allow yourself to receive at all is, what do you say when someone compliments you? Do you come back with a remark going, like, say someone compliments your shirt? Do you come back with a remark and go, yeah, it's all right. It's, this whole thing, it was in my closet. Or, yeah, I found it at Goodwill. Oh my God. Do you come back with a comment that basically devalues that compliment, the receiving? Because what that actually does is that blocks you from receiving the energy, the positive energy of that compliment, which in turn is a sign that you are blocking yourself from receiving your abundance. If you are not allowing yourself to receive as equally as you give, then there is an imbalance in your life. I know something that's very challenging for a lot of us, because we have a patterned belief, and it took me a long time to really work on this, is that we don't want to be a burden. We don't want to be a bother to someone else, so we don't ask for help. And then before you know it, you're drowning. Instead of you slip and fall and you go, oh my goodness, the water's a little rough. I guess I really can't right away, and asking for help right away. Instead, you tread water. Before you know it, you are so exhausted that the other person can't even really help you either. Yeah, Alicia, may I ask a question? Go for it, dear goddess. Go for it. Ask away. Ask away. All right. And I'm going to keep going. All right. So again, we teach others how to treat us. We do. If people are act disrespectful to you the first time, you better believe that there's more than likely going to be a second, a fifth, a 20th. There's going to be more and more times that they're going to disrespect you. You let someone treat you like a doormat, you better believe that's going to happen again and again and again. Alicia asks, is it possible for a twin flame not to love you? When it comes to twin flames and that love, is what they are doing is they are mirroring back to you your depth of love for yourself. So if you really truly do not love you, you better believe they are going to have a challenging time showing you that they love you. Because in reality, If you have a tough time loving yourself, you better believe they too have a tough time loving themselves. In fact, Arby and I, we had that conversation on Friday. I asked him, I said, do you believe that you are worthy of love? Because I may be further along perceivably in the journey, but for him, he is a lot deeper in that space. He has not been working on a self-love empowerment journey intentionally. He is where I used to be for sure. Mirrors. So if you are not doing that work on you and you are not truly learning how to love yourself and putting those things into practice, then you better believe he's the same. I'm always getting yes and no answers in readings. Well, that's the challenge with readings, dear goddess. You are able, when you allow yourself, and this applies to you, whether you're in a twin flame journey or you're just strictly on your own self-love empowerment journey. Because listen, a twin flame journey is a self-love empowerment journey. It is, because your twin is your mirror soul. You are your twin. So within, so without. In you, in him, or her, whatever. However the masculine and feminine have incarnated in this physical realm. Okay? But you have the answer inside you. We've all been taught, we've all been socially conditioned that I need someone to tell me what to think, what's right, what to do, I still, especially when it comes to my business, that's where I often have the most challenging thing, because I'm in uncharted waters for sure. So often of the time going, I don't know if I'm doing this right. But we have been socially conditioned to doubt ourselves. When guess what? You have the answer inside you. But you've just got to learn to listen and lean into it and trust yourself. And I assure you, that is putting into practice self-love. Now, when it comes to interactions with other people, we are either giving our power over to them by reacting to their actions, or we maintain in alignment with our truth. We maintain our point of attraction by choosing to respond. There's reaction, there's response. Reaction is subconscious. It just is. You don't even think of it, you just boom. Like so often in arguments, right? We're yelling at each other. And it just continues to escalate. That is a reactionary result. I have been reprogramming myself that my reaction is to respond. And by that, I mean that I actually will take that pause, take that breath. That's what I want my reaction to be, is that I take a breath. I'm like, so that I can recognize that I choose. Remember the sign, whichever camera we are at here, I choose. Your power, when you respond, in fact, taking responsibility over your state of being, over your emotional state of being, your energetic state of being, your mental state of being, taking responsibility is what empowers you with the ability to respond. The words are in the word. It tells you what responsibility actually means, the root words. The ability to respond. And then guess what? They don't have power over you, which means they can't control you. You then are in control of you. I know it's challenging, especially when, again, we have been taught that we don't have control over our thoughts. We don't have control over our emotions, that they actually control us. That's a lie. But now we've got to be the ones to rewire, as Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, rewiring our brains, rewiring ourselves, but reprogramming ourselves so that we actually respond rather than react, which means we are in control of ourselves rather than being controlled by someone or something else outside of us. Because the only space and place where you can ever find and connect with your power, the only thing you can ever control is you. It is an illusion that you have any real control over your outside environment. Now, yes, we have manifestation, we have our points of attraction, that law of attraction. But if you don't have control over you, you bet your tushy that you will never have any kind of control outside of you. Because when you gain control over your internal, where you are maintaining your point of attraction, you are then raising your vibration. You are then attracting to yourself other things that resonate at that frequency. So you do end up having a control over your external environment. However, you got to get control over your internal. Believe me, I understand this. Okay. What we allow or disallow is always up to us in any relationship, including and especially the one we have with ourselves. Oh, sweetheart, I think you be calling your own self, Karen. Look in the mirror, darling. See, I love this. I love knowing that whenever I'm up leveling, I get tested. I love it. Sending you love there, Jonah, because you need it, boo. You need it. Pot calling the kettle black, sweetheart. Woo! All right, Cindy says, okay. All right. When we mistreat ourselves, we are giving permission to others to also mistreat us. Simply because we do not know what it feels to be treated properly. It is only treating ourselves the way we would like others to treat us. So it does. It begins with you. It begins with us. That we are able to distinguish when we are or are not being treated according to what we desire. If you want to be treated like shit, then treat yourself like shit. Or if you are being treated like shit, look at how you are treating yourself. In that moment of awareness, we are taking our power back by making the conscious choice to kindly enforce our boundaries. So for 2 days, practice for the 5-day self-love empowerment challenge. Is the first things first is to clarify what your boundaries are, where you are currently. Ask yourself this first question. What am I no longer available for? Look at your life. Look at the things that you are not liking about how you are being treated. In particular, what's going to be real obvious is by others, how others are treating you. What do you not like? What is getting on your nerves? What is getting under your skin? What is frustrating you? What is aggravating you? What is making you upset or sad or heartbroken, flustered? What are you no longer available for? Such as, here forward, Y'all are hearing this. Here forward, I am no longer available for smart ass low vibers that want to come on and attempt, because that's all they're doing, attempt to push my buttons. I'm not even going to respond back. I'm just going to subconsciously send them love, because anybody who is acting out in that manner, they're crying for attention. They're crying for attention, literally. They say, pay attention to me because I'm deprived. I don't love myself. Okay? It's like a bully. A bully actually bullies others because they themselves are being bullied or have been bullied. Everybody needs love. But that doesn't mean that we need to sacrifice or compromise ourselves for them. So first question is, again, what am I no longer available for? So drill that out. Maybe like, oh, remember my cake thing I was talking about the other day, about how I would buy a cake and eat it myself in like 2 days time. Thank goodness I got Larabars. Because that's the key, is it's like, I am no longer available for buying a freaking cake and eating it myself and feeling like crap about it. So then the other question, the second part of this activity today, is you journal out, what am I now available for? So when it comes to the cake reference, no longer available for processed sugars, just some stupid cake that I'm buying just for a immediate gratification kind of thing. What I am now available for is, when I am craving something sweet, I have a Larabar. And they got good Larabars. I was not a fan of the banana peanut butter one. That was the first one I've ever had of Larabars that I went, ew. Ew. My little love bug, she loved it. She's loved every Larabar, but I was like, no, Auntie Shell, not having that one. I got a cat here. All right. So again, shift your focus now to what you want to be creating. Are you drunk? Good for you. Don't you know that alcohol actually fogs your third eye? It actually blocks your third eye from actually being able to see the bigger picture of this world. I personally don't drink. I don't do drugs. I myself am happy and high on life, especially when I'm doing what I love right here. So again, there is so much projection that's happening right now. It is absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. All right. So again, first list is, what am I no longer available for? Second list is, what am I now available for? Okay. And keep those lists handy. That way you can be referencing back and really putting into practice your boundaries when something, because you better believe you're going to be tested, just like I am already. I love it. Love it. Love it. Bring it. You will be tested. When you declare that I am no longer available for that shit, you better believe that shit's going to show up. That there are going to be neggy Nellies, there are going to be low vibe people that are so unhappy in their lives, that actually are in a state that they know better for you, all those things, and you will be tested. They will push your buttons. But that is simply to help you grow stronger, so that you can sit there and go, brick wall, Free Willy, here comes Flipper. I love that little ditty. Yes. Okay. Again, though, by getting clear on these things, what you also do is you declare to the universe. And so the universe can then be bringing into your realm of experience what you are now available for. But you've got to be creating space for that by implementing these boundaries and saying no more of that. I no longer have energetic space, physical space, mental space, emotional space for these things. And once you stop allowing these to perpetuate, then you have created space for the things that you do want. But you are the catalyst. You are that catalyst. And if you want change, you've got to be the one to change it. And it's that simple. There are a lot of lazy people in the world. They expect everybody else to do it for them. They want to come on to people's live streams and talk down and negative and do anything to bring someone else down to their level. But that's what I want you all to understand too. Is that again, people out there, when you are rising, when you are up leveling, when you are feeling good, there will always be someone out there that's going to want to tear you down because they feel like shit. So of course, they want you to feel like shit too, because they do not have the power within themselves to get off their asses and change shit. They would rather choose to remain lazy. And instead say, you. So one of my things about this finger, guess what? Wherever your finger is pointing, that's where your power is going. So turn it back on you. Accept responsibility for yourself and your journey and your experience. And you will be creating for yourself a life you love to live. Otherwise, you will forever remain at the mercy of your external circumstances and environment. Because you all have watched me this week being tested by people who want to come on, especially on TikTok. That's why I'm kind of like, I'm all right with it being banned. Because there are a lot of low-life people on TikTok. I've met some amazing people, but wow. Those that are in that state of, well, just really negative. There's a lot. Hola, Edgar. ¿Cómo estás? Yo hablo un poquito español. All right. Remember, you get to choose what your experience is like here. You either allow other people to influence your state of being and allow them to trigger you into a state of feeling like shit, feeling miserable. And guess what? You let them win. You give them your power. Who's been bullied? Who was bullied in school? I need extra hands. Believe me, I know this place. I know this space. You let them win when you allow yourself to feel bad because of some crap they say to you. All it's doing is telling you who and how they are. That simple. Goddess Leanne says, you want people to be asking you, how do I get what you got? Exactly. How can I stand in my power that way? How can I not be so easily and detrimentally impacted by someone else's words, by someone else's daggers? It comes down to boundaries. It comes down to really learning to love yourself. It comes down to realizing that anybody else who comes into your realm of experience, wanting to dictate to you, wanting to pick on you, wanting to tease you, wanting to make fun of you, wanting to judge you, they have this much of your story. If that. If that. Yet, we give them this much sway over our state of being. Well, it's time to say that shit. This is my journey. This is my experience. And what's the phrase that we've all been learning this week? I choose. I choose how I respond in this situation. I choose to realize that, oh, baby, you just hurting. You're just showing me how shallow you are. But you know what? I'm going to show you who I am, and I'm going to tell you that I love you. I do. You want to be cruel and heartless? That's you. That's all you. I choose to be better than that because I am. Because I know that going to someone else and intentionally seeking to cause them hurt, I know what that feels like. I know what it is to be hurt. I refuse to be that person. You can be, but I won't. Because one of my boundaries with myself is that you don't get to cause me to feel bad. It's that simple. That said, everybody, the giveaway drawing is next Wednesday at the same time, 7:17. Back on all these platforms. No, I will not be going live again on all of these platforms every day next week. Absolutely not. Whew. This has taken quite a lot of energy. Exactly, Leanne. It is a learning process. It is a, perpetual going and growing self-love empowerment journey. That is exactly what we are on. And it's all about you learning to see where your power is in every moment so that you're not giving it away to everybody outside of you. And then you're left feeling like shit. You don't have to. You can choose to feel good, no matter what someone else is thinking, saying, spewing at you. The power is and always has been inside you. Therefore, it's in your hands. It really is. So that said, for those of you who signed up, getting the emails, you all know what the guidelines are for the entries in the giveaway. And I will be drawing that winner live next Wednesday, 7:17 Pacific Standard Time. That said, this wraps the 5-day Self-Love Empowerment Challenge brought to you by yours truly, Rochelle Richard with Empowerment Experiences. I will see you all back here. TikTok, both my channels, Instagram, Empowerment Experiences, Facebook, Goddess Tribe, and on my YouTube channel live as well. So I will see you back here this coming Wednesday, 7:17 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will see who won the giveaway. All right, everybody. As I said before, go create amazing because the power is and always has been inside you. Therefore, it's in your hands. I'll see you all soon. Namaste. Oh, and my YouTube.